what Saul has on him is unstoppable. Everything he touched is going to be blessed. Oh, I hear the tambourine shaking. I don't know who got it. But I'm going to tell you now, when I heard that shaking, I heard the rattle of rattlesnakes. And I need somebody to speak to your neighbor and tell them every snake that's trying to come up around me better recognize what stage of my life I'm in. I'm at a stage that where you might crawl up, you might crawl up, you might sneak up, but I'm at a stage where you ain't gonna be able to bite what God done put on me. Oh, let me say it the way God said to me. Some of y'all don't even know that y'all work with snakes. Some of y'all don't even know y'all live with snakes. Some of y'all don't even know right now y'all churching with snakes. But you better look at somebody and tell them, snakes, 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 snakes everywhere. But I'm at a stage where I'm unstoppable. Come on. First Samuel chapter 11, he's at a stage of unstoppable. But in 1 Samuel chapter number 12, Saul now has to address Israel. I want y'all to understand that his address is a long address. This address grows from verse number 1, 2, 3, all the way down to the key verses of verse 23 through 25. I want y'all to look at 23 through 25. There it is. And I want you to notice what he begins to tell Israel. He says now, if we're going to continue in this stage of unstoppable, where we are unstoppable, we must be adamant about a few things. Israel hears Saul's voice, and Israel hears their leader tell them that you must be adamant in these certain areas. Look at what he says. He says, do not sin against Jehovah. He said, not only that, I want to be adamant that you fear Jehovah. But not only do I want you to fear Jehovah, I want you to serve him with your whole heart. Do y'all see that? He said, I want you to serve him with all that you got. And then he tells him, watch this in verse 25. Then he turns around and tells him, he says, now, but if ye shall still do wickedly, ye shall be consumed, both ye and your king. Now I've got to stop right here and tell you about the but if. Because the but if is important to me, because Saul is the one doing the preaching. Saul is the one doing the teaching. And Saul, in the but if of verse 25, says to us, there's a small gap in between being unstoppable and stopping altogether. Okay, say it the way that you would if you were in the projects. He says there's a thin line in between being blessed and cursed. There's an itty bitty space in being moved up and blocked up. Y'all still ain't getting it. He's saying 1 minute you can be on the high side of the mountain, and if you ain't careful, the next minute you can be on the backside of hell, wishing somebody would pray for you. Are y'all hearing me? He says now, but if in verse 25, he says now, if you don't sin against God, you can be blessed and highly favored. If you fear Jehovah, the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom and knowledge. You can have all the sense in the world. Watch this. He says, if you serve him with your whole heart, you can ask anything in his name and it shall be given. But if you decide to do it the way the world doing it. If you decide to act like everybody else in the world, dress like the world, think like the world, party like the world, drink like the world, roll it up a fat joint like the world. Y'all might as well come on, I'm coming. Go to the hotel like the world. He said if you decide that you want to party like the world, y'all ain't talking to me. If you decide that you want to turn up like the world, keep preaching, Lamar. If you decide that you want to slip away and go somewhere that don't nobody else know nothing about your business like the world, he said if you decide to do it your way. Can you help me preach this? Can you look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, if. They ain't gonna like me when you say this. They ain't gonna like me because I'm gonna make you say it. Look at them and tell them right now you look real blessed. But if you come in here next week looking like and you come in here acting like you've been hit by a truck, and you come in here complaining about your life, then I know the if ain't no if no more. The if done turned into a riff and you done walked away from your gift. Y'all ain't praying with me. Somebody gotta stay on the other side of if. I hear you in the back. I hear you in the back. Wait a minute. I'm not going to be perfect all the time. So that ain't what God talking about. Because he said his grace is sufficient to cover you. He said your faults and your habits ain't enough for me to block you from being blessed. He said the problem is when you turn your back on me totally to do what you want to do. He said now you living in the land of if. And I guess some of y'all ain't never lived on the land of if. If I had a fifth, I'll be drunk. I guess I ain't got nobody. If my aunt was a man, she'd be my uncle. Oh, y'all ain't happy right through here. I like the way God is blessing me in the stage of unstoppable. So what I look like turning my back on God, and he blessing me like, I dare you to pat yourself on the back and say, he blessing me like this. Here it is. Hold your seat. Hold your seat. See, Israel has been a rebellious nation ever since they left Egypt. So rebellious, you got to remember how they got a leader. They had a God, but they wanted to be like all the other nations and put a man out in front of God. Somebody missed that one. Somebody missed it. So let me say it again. They had a God, but they decided to put a man in front of who was putting food on their table. Yeah. They wanted to put a job in front of a God that supplied when you were unemployed. Y'all ain't got to talk to me. Preach to the chandelier, Ma, if you got to. Listen, that was a moment when you lived in the projects and you worship God like you lost your mind. And now God done put you, y'all ain't talking to me, done put you in a house and you done forgot about the God that. Some of us done forgot about how it was when we didn't have. You didn't have but one dress, one pair of high heels. Y'all ain't talking to me. The only thing you changed was your bra, your underwear, and your hairdo. And because you were cute and fine, you showed up. Y'all ain't praying with me. And you showed out in the name of God. But now that you got 14 black dresses, y'all ain't talking. And now that you got some money in your purse, now you put everything. But if, watch this, y'all. This gonna be rich in this mental series. There is a small gap, Sister Trellis, in between mental stability and insanity. Did y'all get that? Let the right lie be told on you on the wrong day. Let the wrong coworker mess with you on the right evening. And all evening and all night, you'll be sitting at your house telling yourself, when I get to work in the morning, child security better be on site. Because right now, I don't give a good god doggone. And all of your sanity is out the window. What this proves to us is that the right now Saul in chapter number 12 is in his right mind. He has no signs of mental illness. He has no sign of bipolarism. He has no sign of anxiety or depression. He has clarity of mind. Matter of fact, come here, Paul. Tell him what he got. He's got peace that passes all understanding. Even when we don't understand or have enough of everything to understand, we got to learn how to be right in our standing with God. God Almighty. If we can just be in right standing with God and do right, that do right in us will give us peace to have mental stability in this crazy kind of world. I'm going to say something, some of y'all not going to like it. Listen, I like Lenox Mall. But every time I go, I don't have to buy nothing. And I ain't going to lose my mind if I go shopping with somebody and they got 14 bags and I don't have one. Y'all sit down. Y'all can look at me like I'm crazy. Everybody in my neighborhood can get a new car. They can get new stuff. They can get boats. They can go on trips. I got a piece of God that sit with me that say I can sit in my house and watch Gunsmoke. Where my other mama at in here? I can watch Gunsmoke and be at peace. You heard about concert, they're going to have that big concert, that old school concert that coming to Macon. You know that concert coming in Macon in March. I got to go. I got to be up there. Ooh, child, I got to have the front row seat. I got to be up there. I'm going to lose my mind. Wait a minute, what happened to your salvation? Ain't nothing wrong with you going. Go sit there and act like you got some sense. But now you're going to see New Edition. And Ralph Transvet done came out there. And this ain't 17-year-old Ralph Transvet. This 55-year-old Ralph Transvet. He ain't got no waves no more. He got a bald spot on the top of his head. And you up there hollering like he's 17 again. Child, he don't want you. You up there losing your mind. You done spent $70 to go see. Y'all ain't. Where is your salvation? And I heard somebody say, and I'm still going. Be in right standing with God. Do right, and do right will give you peace and serenity. One of the first steps to becoming unstable is when our mind begins to neglect what is godly right. I want to rip the can off. I want to rip the top off of this because we got so many excuses in this world for why people are crazy. The medical society has an excuse for everything. Our school system has an answer and an excuse that connects with psychology for everything. First thing, they say when you're crazy, we got to put you on some medication. Ain't nobody talking about no prayer. Ain't nobody talking about bringing them to the altar. Everybody is talking about medicine. First thing they say about your child, we got to put them on Ridley. And this ain't no offense to nobody's child that's on Ridley. But I want to tell you, he in the right place, she in the right place today. Because when I was coming along, Ritalin came in the form of 2 China berry switches and a leather belt that was bought out of Kmart. Y'all ain't got to talk to me. Because if you put something on that child's backside, I see eyes making eyes with eyes, so I'm going to help you in your eyes making eyes. Eyes don't give a doggone if you want your child on medicine. Doping them children up to send them to school like they half sleeping, like they a ghost, only for them to come home, and then you put them on some more, and they walking around like a zombie instead of walking upright and putting them in the hands of the Lord and say, Lord, I know you're able. By your stripes, my child gonna be healed. Watch this. What are you saying, Lamar? I am saying that the vast majority of our folk in society that have to be put on medication for their mental instability is because at some point we walked away from the will of God and passed it from one generation to another. We put them on medication. Come on, Bishop, work here. I got to get the chapter. I got to get to the next chapter. Listen, we put them on medication and never deal with the underlying issue. That baby was raped when she was a little girl, and didn't nobody say nothing. That boy was molested, and now we wonder why he behaves and acts the way he does. Nobody ever tried to get any psychological help. You got pregnant by your uncle on the left side of your family, and nobody did anything about it. They swept it up under the rug, sent you to Atlanta, got you an abortion, but nobody never aborted the pain that rested in your spirit. You were kidnapped by drugs because somebody else in your family wanted to be a crackhead, and you were a crack baby and wonder why you act the way you act, and nobody ever kidnapped you long enough to put you under the blood of Jesus, which has the power. Can I preach this like my Baptist side want to preach it? That blood that never ever loses its power. It flows from the highest mountain. It reaches to the lowest valley. That same blood shall never lose its power. What happened to 66 cc's of his blood? Somebody tell me, what happened to 35 milligrams of God's saving power? No, we don't want the power. We want to pacify. So Saul now is in his right mind because he's doing what's godly right. Can you elbow your neighbor and say, it's tight in here, but it's right? Now, only a few of y'all can really say this. Lean over to the other neighbor and say, that's my man of God, and I love it. First Samuel chapters 13 and 14, stay with me, shows Israel at war. Chapters 13 and 14 shows Israel at war. Why are you bringing this up? Because when you read in chapter number 13, they are at war with the Philistines. Chapter 14, they're at war with the Philistines, and Saul's young son by the name of Jonathan leads them into victory over the Philistines. Notice now, they are not really at war, they are in a battle. By this time, Saul has been reigning over Israel for 2 years. Do y'all see that? Verse 1, in chapter number 14, verses 1 and 2 will give us some very great highlight. Those verses all the way down, the verse number 13 gives us great highlight. Why? Because I want y'all to see this. Saul is winning battles with only 3,000 men. Sometimes the Bible even instructs us that he only has 2,000 men. Why is this important, Lamar? This is important because you got to remember the Philistines, the Amalekites, and all of them have joined forces with all of Israel's enemies. Okay, let's go to work. All of their enemies have joined up together to team up against Israel. And all Israel got, all Saul has is 3,000 and sometimes 2,000 soldiers. Come on, pull your chair up closer so you can get it. As a matter of fact, the Philistines have double and sometimes triple portions of how many men Saul has. But every time they got in a battle, Saul and Israel kept winning. Y'all missed it? So let me help you. Y'all ain't never discovered how your enemies get together. Y'all ain't never noticed how your own blood folk will team up with folk that ain't even got blood in their body and turn their back on you. And then they'll get everybody that don't even know nothing about you to snarl and roll their eyes at you. I wish I had some help in here. And sometimes you got to look back on it and say to yourself, how in the world am I winning and everybody is against me? I am outnumbered, but I keep on winning. Somebody gonna get this in a minute. Somebody gonna get chapter 13 and 14. Because you got to remember what I told you in chapter number 11. He's at the stage of unstoppable. Y'all ain't happy. But somebody didn't tell the Philistines that you were in that stage. Y'all missed that right there. Somebody didn't tell your haters that you were at a stage of, I don't care. I don't give a doggone. It really don't matter. Like me if you want to like me. Hate me if you don't want to hate me. It really don't bother me none. Because I'm at a stage where I'm just blessed like that. And it don't matter who you go get. Go get your folk. Go get your boys. Get your likes. Get your hearts. Get your homies. Get your laughing partners. The house is filled again. The house is filled again. The house is filled again. Go get your folk. Talk about us every day. You must don't know. Not only am I in the stage of unstoppable, this is your winning season. Y'all hold your seat, let me work. Watch this. Deacon Riley, let me see if I can help everybody on that side of the church with you. Y'all can listen and eavesdrop, but I'm going to help everybody on that side. Y'all, listen, sometimes we got to learn how to be at peace with the victories that God has given us in the face of adversity. Sometimes we got to learn how to not make excuses for why we are winning and why we look as good as we look when we have come out of what we come out of. I'm tired of making excuses and justifying to other folk why I'm winning like this. Child, you better watch and learn, because I'm going to make this season of my life look doggone good. You better, instead of hating, you better get on this side of the fence, because if God be for me, he'll be more for me than the whole. Can you find your shouter and your runner and tell them, listen, I ain't making no more excuses for how God want to bless me. If I'm winning when I ain't supposed to be winning, I'm just winning. That's all I can say. wait a minute. Come back. Say, y'all hold your seat. Let me work. Watch this. I got a few minutes on that clock. Y'all watch this. I'm about ready to jump that thing. But watch this. Watch this real quick. Watch this. See, we got to get to a place where you understand. He didn't have but 3,000 soldiers. But he's winning anyway. He's got peace of mind. And if he has peace of mind, Sister Mary, that means he is baffling the natural mind of his opposers. Somebody missed this. Let me flip it around so you can get it, Cassandra. If you going crazy, then your enemies and your haters love it. And they are at peace. But I be doggone, you gonna raise hell with me. And I'm gonna let you see me lose my mind. I'm going to be at peace with God so that you can lose your mind trying to figure out how is God blessing me. And I'm outnumbered. Let me say this to somebody. Oh, here come my prophetical side. I'm hearing God in my ear. Listen, child, get your credit right. But it ain't your credit that's getting ready to get the house. Oh, you gonna get the house because you're outnumbered. Oh, somebody here, get your job resume ready. You getting ready to go up one more level. It ain't because of your education. It's because you've been outnumbered. You getting ready to climb a higher mountain. It ain't because you're a mountain climber. As a matter of fact, you can't even swim. Real long talking about climbing a mountain. But you getting ready to take flights. Somebody get ready. You better get your, that's what God told me this week. He said, Lamar, go get your car passport right. Because boy, you getting ready to take flights. You getting ready to fly to places that folk that they don't even want you to rule down here. What they gonna do when you start hitting the friendly skies? Can you shake your shouter's hand and tell them, I know how I'm winning. I'm outnumbered. And God don't care nothing about a number. Hold your seat. Oh, can I tell you something? Oh, I feel. Oh, y'all watch me. Pray for me. I feel something right here. Yeah. Y'all pray for me. I feel kind of churchy here. Oh, Lord. Y'all pray for me. I'm trying to stop. But I'm thinking about all the haters that's been on my trail. And I'm thinking about the more popular I get, the worse it's going to get. But I'm just trying to let the neighbor know. I'm just trying to let the hater know. I got a God. Yeah. He will take care of me. Come on the way to your seat, shake your neighbor's hand and tell him, I know God got me. Oh, I gotta get this point. I gotta get it. Now, hold up one second. Okay, here it is. Listen. Let me tell you something about your neighbor that your neighbor don't want you to know. They winning. Remember that note you just hit. They winning because they winning right now. You hear me, LaShonda? Your family is winning right now because you're in right standing with God. Don't y'all get this twisted? Y'all are winning because you in right standing with all. Okay, y'all ain't getting it, so let me go further. Some of us owe God thanks and a shout. Not just on Sunday, Tamia, every day. You ain't got to have no organ, you ain't got to have no keyboard, you ain't got to have no drum, you ain't got to have no choir, you ain't got to have no praise partner. Some of us owe him thanks and a shout. Okay, let me go why. Let me show you why. Because of how you're winning. Saul is winning, not because he's smart, not because of his intelligence. He's winning not because he came from the tribe of Benjamin, the smallest tribe. He's not winning because of his money. Baby sister, you are winning because you in right standing with God. While everybody else is out there doing what they do, don't mean you and I don't have no faults. Well, thank God we are not who we used to be. So y'all don't know, y'all don't get it why your neighbor, oh God, a shout and a thank you, Lordy. Let me show you why you, oh God, a thank you and a thank you, Lordy. A shout and a thank you, Lordy. This is where you need your runner at. This is where you need your prayer at. Here it is. When God is with you, he is with you as a terror to your enemies. What you mean a terror? Not an error, a terror. Watch this. People ought be terrified to touch your life and test your anointing. Y'all didn't get it. Y'all didn't get it. Y'all didn't get it. Y'all didn't get it. I'm not talking about fighting in the physical. I'm talking about when you got an anointing on your life, they better start recognizing what's on you, because if God don't get you now, God will turn let me tell you something. God will turn heaven and earth over for somebody like you. Mary, you didn't get it. I said God will go snatch your haters and pull them out their bed and put them outdoors for messing with you. Y'all ain't praying. Did you hear what I said, Ramada? I said God will take every negative naysaying low down nigga and make them understand how bad they been not mess with your life. You must not know about me. You must not know about me. Look at somebody and tell them, if God said he got you, he got you. Look at somebody and tell them, you ought to be terrified for dealing with me. Can I go rap school? I know this might put me in, I don't want to do what William Murphy did. God knows I don't. But can I go where I want to go? Can I say what I want to say? I think I'd be quiet enough where I'll be able to say what I want to say. Y'all, I done put up with so much stuff. And y'all want me to be the good Christian little boy. Look at y'all mothers over there. Don't say nothing no more. Don't say nothing. Be good. Be the bigger Christian. Yeah, I'm going to be the bigger Christian. Child, you better be glad I ain't the man I used to be. You better come get your whole eye here. You better come get, because back in the day, I would have slayed everything that belonged to you. I would have tore up everything in your house. I would have messed up everything in your family. Child, you don't want the old player to come back. Better come get, because I hear you know what I hear with? I got some anointed power. I put my hands and call everything in your camp holy. Go back to your seat and tell them, say, that's my man of God. Now don't say it unless you're ready to go out of here embarrassed and hurt. When God is with you, God is with you. Hold your seat. I need 10. Can I have 10? Come on. Hold your seat. I got to work this. Can I prophesy? I feel some strange turnings and outcomes coming. Okay, y'all didn't get it. So I'm going to say that. In my spirit, I feel some strange turnings. It ain't supposed to work like that for you. It ain't supposed to happen like that, Michelle. You ain't got enough experience to be getting all these raises and advances and positions and titles. But I feel some strange turning. I don't know who I'm talking about. You don't went through the divorce and they left you for dead. But I see some strange turnings. God is getting ready to give you something better than what left you. Oh, and you were left in debt. Oh, I see some strange. I see some. I got my fresh runner. Come here, girl. Come here, girl. Where you at, Devante? Get at the her. It's been anointed. I want you to put that on your lamp table. And God told me to get that to my first runner as a sign that every enemy that rise up against you, that's the sign that you covered by the blue. Y'all ain't happy. That's why it's red. I hear some strange turnings. He ain't came to see about his babies, ain't checking on his babies. He ain't doing none of that. Don't you worry about it, mama. God is getting ready to send you a hero. That's going, y'all ain't happy. They won't let you see your child. Holding back on your child. They better be careful. You the man. You the next trend. And whether they like it or not, I've seen God do it. He'll kill a life off so you can have your babies. He'll put them in jail so you can see your child and make the other side beg. Can I see my baby? I see some things turning. Somebody gonna die for messing with Lamar and Lamar's camp. Somebody gonna stop breathing. Look at somebody and tell them, I see some strange. That's my second runner. Where Devante at? Get that to him. That's my second runner. Oh God, it's gold because everything you touch, I wanted to be a reminder that God is getting ready to turn some stuff from platinum, from gold. He's getting ready to shift some stuff to a higher level. Hold your seat. Let's go to chapter 15, Joshua. I got to get out of here. Strange turnings. Somebody hear me. When you get to work tomorrow, text me when it happened on Facebook. By the time you get to work, the main one that's been on your nerve gonna be so nice to you tomorrow. And when they nice, you be nice, but walk away with the mindset, a snake's still a snake. But this is my sign that God is getting ready to flip this thing in my favor. So here it is in chapter 15. I want y'all to notice in verse number 1, he has had great success. And finally, God says to Samuel, I want you to go back to Saul. He's been so good to me. He's been so dedicated to me. I want to anoint him to be the king over his people. Wait a minute, I got a problem. This is in verse 1, chapter 15. I thought he was already the king. No, if you go back to 1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 16, you will discover that the last time Samuel was with Saul, he was not anointed king. 1 Samuel, chapter number 9, verse 16 will show you right there that he was sent to anoint him to be prince over my people Israel. What's the difference? Here's the difference. He has put some of us in the prince position because he said, I want to know how you're going to act with a little bit of success before I put you on a higher plateau. He says to Samuel, who is the man